Wait.
Hey everyone.
fell.
Yeah. Hey everyone, this is Dark. Yes, welcome to Player 4. I got Neo Devastator. Popcat.
We're down to
What's up?
3.
Are we using our just Xbox names? Because I'm on PlayStation and Destroyer.
Okay.
Just because the only reason is because
He's on PlayStation as Neo Destroyer.
when
That's his other alias,
Yes.
in case you want to look him
I have
up.
multiple
We
aliases.
just call him Dead.
The reason why it's like that though is because when Xbox Live came out in 2002, it was Neo Destroyer then, and then when the 360 came out, for some reason like it wouldn't let me use this. Like you're supposed to be able to carry it over, and like it kept fucking up, and like I couldn't use it, and I had to just create another one, which is really annoying. But
It's a really interesting story.
yeah. So
Thank you for that.
you're welcome.
I'm glad we asked.
Yeah, my main character on World of Warcraft also has the same name. I don't ever play that anymore.
In case you ever play it, he doesn't, but you can always
Oh,
check
that's
him
fine.
out.
Look at the WoW Armory because I've totally
Sell all your shit.
No, I didn't do that, but
You don't play, might as well get something out of it.
True.
It's only a gold farmer in North Korea can steal it all.
Alright, so we're going to talk about E3's coming up. So we're going to talk about a pre-E3, just kind of what we expect and
pre-3.
what we would want at E3. So first we're going to start out with Microsoft, since their conference is first on June 9th. I don't know what time, but
Something like 2, I believe.
2 Pacific time.
Central,
I'm not. I can't. I don't know.
2 Central.
I believe, but don't quote me on that.
I doubt it would be Central though. Because
Well,
it's
he
in, it's
converted
in,
it.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
it would be noon. Then
It's,
Pacific
yeah,
time.
it's like
Yeah.
noon California, 2 here,
In Central time.
5
Central.
about 20.
So the first thing is one thing that we expect them to show is Halo 5 Guardians.
That's pretty much a given, considering the latest news and stuff on it.
Yeah. I mean, they only shown one concept art and stuff. I expect them to show probably a trailer. Maybe a gameplay trailer, maybe just a CGI trailer, but some sort of trailer.
We'll have a short gameplay trailer.
they'll have gameplay. There's no way they won't. If it's going to come out in 2015, I think that they will
Yeah,
at least
probably.
have something gameplay, or tell you what the hell this new character is supposed to be. Because
the new
on
guy or
the
whatever.
cover art, Master Chief's on the bottom, and then the new guy's on the top. But
It's Raiden.
It's right. Yes.
It's Raiden.
That's what they're going to announce. We have partnered with
Konami.
Hideo Kojima, and we're going to do a fucking Raiden character.
I was thinking Raiden for a second from fucking Mortal Kombat. I was
Yeah.
like, was it the God of Thunder or Lightning or whatever?
Yes.
Is fucking in the
Gotta shoot and shit.
Yeah, Johnny Cage is there too. He's the
Johnny
guy.
Cage.
He's the guy at top. It's Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
and then Goro kills him.
Yes. In the
No,
movie,
wait,
he does.
Who kills him in the second one?
The movie.
Annihilation Goro. He kills Goro in the first one.
No.
That was a $500 pair of sunglasses,
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember who kills him.
He dies in the
He
first
dies,
5
like,
minutes
yeah.
of the movie, and you're like,
Yeah.
what?
Everybody dies in that movie. They killed Rain. They show Rain. They're like you.
Rain
yeah.
is a badass, and then he
You
gets
did
hit with
the-
a hammer into
Yeah.
a fire pit, and then
Yeah.
Shiva gets crushed by a giant fucking bird cage.
Stupid movie. Anyway,
Sector was in it. No, it wasn't
Yeah.
Sector, it was Cyrax.
Cyrax was in it.
Cyrax. And they had human smoke.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you let sci-fi.
They had
take over
Ermac in
something.
it too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I guess it's all about Halo 5. I mean, they're going to show it off. They're going to have at least a trailer, probably gameplay. And that's probably about it. Then they're going to have the Halo TV. I'm sure they're going to show maybe some footage from that, or at least talk about it.
I don't see any footage. I see maybe a title screen or something like that.
Halo
Yeah, exactly. It'll
coming to your TV near you,
It's exactly what
in front of you.
It's
Press the
exactly what
menu
it's
button
gonna
to start.
say. Yeah. I'm more interested. I'm expecting to see something on the Halo Master Chief collection.
You think they'll do another Halo Wars?
I hope so.
I
doubt
would
it,
like
but I
to
hope
see
so.
that because it was
Because
a solid.
The reason why, I mean, they could, as Simple Studios did it, the first one, and they're no
Yep.
longer together. So they'll have to have a
They disassembled.
symbol.
That was ensemble.
It is a
Symbol,
symbol, but you
ensemble,
can't pronounce shit.
whatever.
I thought at first you said it was Simple Studios.
No, it's a symbol.
That's what
I thought it was a
it's-
symbol. Or
Thought
symbol.
it
It's
was
a
it's
it's
ensemble.
ensemble.
Oh.
They disassembled.
Ensemble.
Well, yeah, they disassembled.
Wait, what? Discombobulated.
But I'm really,
No disassemble.
I'm really interested in the Master Chief Collection because
No, and then
the most important thing is not just upgraded graphics for the single player, but the multiplayer maps. I mean, I know they brought over
Sidewinder,
They brought over some
needs to
from
happen.
2 to 3 and 3 to
Blood
4,
Gulch.
but they need
Yeah, Blood
they
Gulch.
need to redo every freaking map.
Sidewinder and Blood Gulch were the best ones.
I
Yeah.
think if they make this Halo collection that they're going to be coming out with the HD remakes and everything, they either need to make them all have multiplayer or make this giant multiplayer that spans through all.
That'd be interesting. Like maybe just have one disc.
Yeah, they
Is
just
all the
it's all
multiplayer?
it's multiplayer from every game, every one that has all the
See,
maps and everything.
they could do that, but like each game has completely different mechanics. For
Right,
multiplayer. Like for
and
example,
maybe
Halo 2.
and maybe
True.
depending on the map that you choose, like let's say it's a
True.
Halo 2 map, it'll play like the
Play
Halo
like
2
that
game.
Well,
You
then,
won't have the perks and
well,
things
then
like
you
that.
might want to
from
play like
forward.
with those mechanics with.
Or maybe
Yeah.
you'd make them game modes or something like
But
that.
That's
it,
true.
it would be pretty cool though to have those perks on some Halo 2 maps.
Halo 2.
Well, what they should do then is make it to where they have all those maps and everything like that, and then when you choose your game modes, you can choose whether to play game mode like Halo 2, like
Yeah.
Halo 3, like Halo 4, you know, however you want to play it. So if you play it like Halo 4, then in a Halo 2 match, you have those perks and all that crap in
Yeah.
the map.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like the jetpacking would be killer on Sidewinder.
Well, they did remake Sidewinder for
3.
3. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The 3 was the last one that I really got into multiplayer wise. I started to get into Reach, but the whole
Reach was
leveling
good.
system and unlocking things just isn't Halo to me. Because obviously Halo 1 didn't have any of that. Halo 1 was amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
The-
Halo 2 didn't
doing
have
LAN
any of that.
parties and things like that. But Halo 2, in my opinion, was the best multiplayer. Just because it's the first one that you ever played. online, and
Everybody started out on equal footing in that game, and they stayed equal
it was
footing.
the only one that had dual wielding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dual wielding, like everyone hated the SMGs, but like if you dual wielded the SMGs and
SMG.
you started shooting the person first, they're
You're-
screwed. Like there's no way that you can get. And I think that's why they started trying to change mechanics and things like that in later games because
I always like dual
It-
Dual
wielding
needlers.
needler and like an SMG.
well, yeah, I mean if you
or
didn't
the plasma.
if in
and
two
a needler, that will fuck
Yeah,
you up in a second.
in two, if you didn't start shooting the person first, odds are you were going to die. And so that's why they started implementing. I would imagine the equipment and things like that. You can put the bubble shield down. And shit like
Right.
that. So
Yes, but the problem with 2, my only problem with 2, is the fucking plasma sword.
Why?
Every damn map, you always had that
Dude,
one
there
9-year-old
were-
kid. I want the sword. I want the sword. Shut up.
Halo 3.
Get aborted.
Halo 3. Fucking clothes hanger his ass. No.
Yeah. It's
Halo
not
3.
murder, it's abortion.
Halo 3 had a lot of glitches that you can do in a lot of the maps, and I can't remember if the second one had. Pretty sure the second one did too. But I remember playing the third one online and doing. You can get up on. It was on Zanzibar, and there were Zanzibar. There the base that's on the other side of the big windmill thing.
Yeah.
You could get up on top of the level from there and like walk all the way around the side.
Yep,
In
I
order to
remember
do that, you had to do the sword cancel thing with the rocket launcher. And
Also on 2, there was one where you could get, can't remember the map to save my life, but you could get on top of the buildings if you used the Banshee. And if you do it right, you could put a couple people that stand on top of it, get them up to
Fly
the
up
Banshee,
there.
get them up there on the Banshee.
the
We used to do that with,
okay, go ahead.
we used to do that with, oh shit, was it Capture the Flag or the bomb? It was the bomb. And we used to just carry the bomb up there. watch the other team run around downstairs, just freaking out. And once in a while, we'd get some new guy pop into the game. We'd sucker, go down there and try to negotiate with them. And then he'd forget that he can't talk to them and get his ass killed.
What was the name of the map in the second game where it was you had these two big buildings and looked like they were being built and they were halfway built, and then there was the road and then a ramp that would take you up, and then there was like a little bridge that was just hanging there. You remember what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know the map.
I can't remember the name of it, but there was a glitch. It was in Halo 2, and there was a glitch. Say like this is the map here, and this is the side that you start on, and this is the road that you jump up on.
Yep.
There's this like big circle thing or whatever, and I can't remember exactly what you had to do it, but when you did it, it would knock you under the map.
Yep.
And then you would just keep falling continuously, and then eventually the map would get so far away from you if you looked up. The base of the map was Pac-Man.
Ah.
It was Pac-Man, and you're like, what? That was also the first time that I ever got at the time was the highest kill spree or whatever it was, Kilimanjaro, on that map. I was in a Warthog, and it was 16 players, so it was 8 on 8, and the entire other team was that ramp was on the other side of the ramp, just standing there, fucking like just, I don't know what the hell they were doing. But I just come around the corner in the Warthog and just ramp it. And I see all of them there, and I just landed on. And then I just hear screaming over the microphone. I think they were trying to do a glitch or something, because there was this rumor, and I never saw it actually happen, because on that, where they were standing, there was a big door. And supposedly, if you could get on the other side of that door, was a golden Warthog. And I remember people talking about this all the time on Xbox Live.
I think I remember.
They're like, yeah, dude, the Golden Warthog's back here. We're trying to get it. You would get in a match and like want to play seriously, and then everybody would be on the mic. All right, nobody kill anybody.
Yeah.
We're trying to get the Golden Warthog. And I'm like, what? Golden Warthog? I never saw this thing, so I don't know if it exists. I've never looked it up.
I
remember
hearing that too, and I don't think I've ever heard of anybody actually finding it or getting it.
It was probably some asshole 10-year-old kid that was just
Somebody
like, I
look
totally
it up.
saw it. Totally saw it.
Somebody needs to look it up and send a picture or something.
Golden Warthog.
I'm going to Google it.
Hey, Google, you can have a Golden Warthog.
You might be careful how you put in Golden Warthog on Google.
You never know what you're going to get. Maybe you'll get a Golden Warthog.
Some blonde chick in middle South Africa getting the golden shower.
You know, one thing I remember in Halo...
I'm going to Google this.
One thing I remember in Halo...
But I'm going to put Halo 2 first, so I don't get some weird...
It's specified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Halo 2, the first time you met the Flood...
Oh, I hated the
map.
Flood.
On that map, it was
Golden
a swamp
Warthog
map.
glitch.
Is there a video for it?
Tutorial. Golden Warthog tutorial.
A tutorial.
Yeah.
When was it posted?
April 2nd, 2007. So 3
That's
years
right.
after it came out. It came out in 2004.
Yeah, people played it in 2009.
What's funny is like, well, they took the service down now, but I was looking around online ways of playing games on the original Xbox Online still, and there's a few people that have web servers that allow you to, if you take your Xbox and connect it to your PC through a router, and you set up the software on your computer, it creates a LAN connection, and then it connects you via the internet to all these other people that are using that same service. And so in the game, say you want to go play the first Halo game online, you can. You just set that software up on your computer, and then you just go to the LAN mode, and you can play with people all over the world. As LAN.
That would be free.
That's really awesome, and like I never even thought of stuff doing that, and people, you can still play.
See, I loved a good
way.
Halo LAN party. And what made me mad is when Halo 2 came out and they dumbed down the pistol power.
Yeah.
Oh my god, because pistol that was my weapon on Halo 1. Any LAN party, that's all I ran around with was a pistol. Because you could quick scope.
But in the first one, in the stage that you met the Flood, I remember on that stage, if you went I can't remember what part it was, but if you went back into the back part of the stage, there was that one marine AI that was just sitting back there all by himself, just standing back in a corner. And like he wouldn't do anything. Like if you hit him or shot him or anything, he wouldn't die. He'd make the sound effects like and stuff, and he was bleeding, but he wouldn't move. He just stood there.
So
and he was off in like the far corner, and you could find him.
So apparently this thing's real. I never saw it. And it says, let's see, where is this part? In reality, the golden warthog was actually a regular warthog, which had been altered by an in-game lighting glitch. While the golden warthog is quite difficult to get and cannot be really used in traditional online battle, it is a fun Easter egg and to show friends and opponents. I mean, it's just a lighting glitch, apparently.
Oh,
That's interesting. I never saw it. I mean, I remember the level that it was on. It's supposed to be on.
When we're done.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Find it. All right, so
anyway,
to keep going, of course they'll talk about Call of Duty.
no, Kevin Spacey will talk.
Yes, we think that Kevin Spacey will actually be there to introduce Call of Duty and talk about Call of Duty.
I hope so.
Well, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool.
I'd like to see him walk out and do that speech like he did for the trailer.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him walk out and do
That'd
a
be cool if he
speech
just
like
went
that.
out.
Or like it's a black screen, nobody's on stage, it's just dark, and you just start hearing his voice, and so like you think it's going to be the trailer, and then he comes walking out at the end and finishes it.
No. He comes out in a exoskeleton or something like that from the game.
Yeah, and he says,
That would be bad.
he puts down a gun and he goes, "You can play as me," and then that's it.
He comes out of the floor
Download.
and like there's fireworks going off, and then ends up being Michael Jackson.
Reserved now. Reserved now at GameStop, and you can have Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
Not in game, but for real.
We'll send him to your house.
Leave it on.
Of course, they'll have Sunset Overdrive. I'd say they'll have some gameplay footage, maybe a demo of it. We talked about the Master Chief Collection. The Fable Heroes?
Fable
Legends.
Legends. Yeah. Fable Legends.
Yeah. I'd say
I
they'll
haven't
probably
seen
have
anything
some.
since
I'd say
last
they'll probably
E3,
have
so.
some gameplay footage of that. I'm hoping they will anyway. I don't know. I mean, last time they just had some CG and it was like, "This is what we're making," and that's.
Well, didn't they say that it was also like heavily controlled by the Kinect last year too?
Did they?
I don't remember.
No,
I don't remember.
I
it
don't
being
think so.
Kinect.
Now, I remember on Fable Journey.
That's what I was thinking
what
of.
You're thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Because
thinking
Fable
of.
Journey was a Kinect only.
Yep,
game.
that's
Now,
what I was
if
thinking of. I was
they
like,
had-
that's complete bullshit.
If they would have had
I don't want to play
if
my
they would have
Fable
had-
game.
Kinect
No.
2 running that, it would be really, really good. Because when it did work, it was fun. It really was. When it worked on Kinect 1. And Kinect 2 is so much better. I think they should definitely make it work with Kinect 2 now. Just, fucking make it a download or something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get your Crackdown.
Yeah. Crackdown 3.
I definitely say
It's a good segue there. That was get your crack down.
Yes. Crackdown 3. I do think that they will. They may not show anything from it, but I do think they will announce a Crackdown 3.
Yeah. I'd say you'll get.
I didn't
Crackdown
give two shits
1
about the second
was-
Crackdown personally.
Yeah,
but
I didn't really care for the second one.
I didn't even
either.
play it.
I played it.
I enjoyed the first one, but it's just like, I guess maybe when the second one came out, I wasn't in the mood for.
I think the problem with the
an
second
open
one
world
was
environment.
it was just like one. Literally, it was.
I think it was easier than 1. It was like way more.
Yeah, I can see it.
You know, I
being
mean,
easier.
because me and you, we used to play 1, and we'd play co-op and have a blast. And 2 was
Oh,
just
yeah.
not this. It just didn't feel the same.
It's not that it. I think it felt too much the same. It looked the same. It played the same. It to me, it really felt like the same game. I mean, story and everything. I think what they need to do is take Crackdown 1, give it a new story and a new landscape. You're what?
The phone is over there.
I don't think so.
Sitting
I
on
don't see
it.
I don't have a phone up my ass. I don't have it next to me.
I heard it.
Might have been mine. I think so.
Short delay, sorry.
He's fucking
Hearing
paranoid.
noises. It's really hot in here. By the
He
way.
got rid of.
I know.
He got rid of
Are
his.
these open?
No,
kinda
you
cool.
can open up that window a little bit if you want, that door there.
Let's get this
Yeah, while you're
cracked.
doing that, I'm going to fart since you're opening the door.
Oh man.
Anyway,
Bring Woody over here.
all right, Crackdown 3. Quantum Break, we'll definitely see some new gameplay of it.
Quantum Break, Woody. Yeah, okay, well, Quantum Break. I think Quantum Break, yeah, we'll see some gameplay footage of it, and maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more
That
about
would.
the old movie. It's about the show that.
We're always watching.
Yeah.
Hey, my name's Woody.
There's a snake in my boot. He said.
Yeah, Woody's gone now.
Fucking up this video, there's a snake in your ass.
Okay, so let's talk about policy changes, because June 9th, if anybody out there hasn't heard yet, they're coming out with the Xbox One for $100 less that has no Kinect.
Mhm.
Which was a big deal, because at first they were like, we ain't bringing one out with no Kinect, and then they're like, well, hey, guess what? We're bringing one out with no Kinect.
But you have to remember, though, that was when this was all being run by a dumb shit
Yeah, Don Matrick.
who
Well,
apparently
And he was a dumb
knew,
shit.
knew what was
but-
best for us. No,
What's-
he was a dumb shit, because look at how he destroyed the brand of Xbox.
What's funny to me is that how, when they initially came out with it, and even still to this day, they're just like, Kinect is a big part of the future of Xbox One. But what's funny to me is that, like, the same thing is going to happen with the new Kinect, the same thing that happened with last Kinect.
Yep.
You're gonna end
is-
up in a closet.
Well, no one's going to buy it, is
Nope.
the thing. Like, there was
It's-
never something that came out for the last Kinect that made you want to be like, I have to have that because it's
Kinect-
awesome.
Kinect
And so-
sold 5 million.
Right, and so what's funny is that,
And then
like,
stopped.
this console, say it goes for the 8 years that the 360 went, 8 to 10
Yes.
years. So in that lifespan, they're probably going to sell between like 60 million, 70 million consoles within that time span. So 5 million people right now have Xbox Ones with Kinect. So 8 years from now, there's only going to be 5 million people out of 70 million with a Kinect.
5.1.
So nobody's going to do shit with it. It's going to sit there, it's going to collect dust.
Here's my problem with the Kinect.
And,
Uh-oh.
It's a great device. It really is. It's a really cool piece of technology. It doesn't work for the game console. It just doesn't work. Nobody's made a game that's really worth using the damn thing for. And even though voice gestures are really cool, I don't want to sit there yelling at my freaking console for half an hour trying to get it to respond to one freaking command.
You yell at your console anyways when you keep fucking dying. You son of a bitch!
well, and see, and that's the thing.
Well,
like,
true, but it ain't gonna come back and be like, "What did you say?"
Repeat that.
I used voice commands right when I first got the system
I
because
still
like
do.
I wanted them to work really, really well. But there's just sometimes I'll still occasionally
It-
use it to turn my system on. 'Cause I still find that
it
kinda
works better.
It
than the
works way
first
better
Kinect.
than the first
way
one.
better.
No, that's true.
But I'm
there's
just
still-
saying, it's counterintuitive. I mean, you can do the same thing. It's like having a TV that you can tell it to turn on, but you
It's-
have a remote sitting right there that you can go power.
Right.
I mean,
I am
it's
too
just as
goddamn
easy.
fat to reach over and grab that.
Yeah, but there's no.
yeah.
But
yeah.
do you want to spend $100 on that thing that you go TV on because I'm too
It's the
fucking
same thing
fat?
with the PlayStation camera. Like, you can buy one now. They're like $60 or $70,
Yeah.
and they have voice commands. A lot of the same voice commands that the Xbox has.
But does
And-
not work as well.
Well,
for
probably
one.
it probably doesn't.
doesn't.
But
But
like,
two,
I would-
they
would
will
like
never
to have
push,
one-
They will never make a push to make it work. Microsoft.
Well, no,
will
'cause
make a
it
push to
was
make
just-
work.
it
They
was-
just haven't.
well, the problem with it is PlayStation made it as a thing that's there if you want to use it.
They
And
wanted
that's
to
what-
bundle it.
I personally think that's just what the Kinect needs to be. It's just something that's there that if you want
If
to,
you want to use it,
it's
available.
a peripheral.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like everything else was, like
Exactly.
PlayStation Move, like the Super Scope, all that shit.
Yeah.
Hey, don't knock Super Scope.
Well, there wasn't very many games that
I
it
used
worked
to tuck
with,
and
though.
Silent
roll
scope.
the Super Scope.
Yeah. No, I had the light gun for my Dreamcast, and I played the shit out of House of the Dead too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like I had the fishing controller for the
Yeah,
Dreamcast,
the big-
and they play Sega Marine. Sega it
Marine
was like the
fishing?
bass fishing game, and
Yeah.
marine fishing was my favorite one. That one was really cool because like all the fish that you caught, you had a big aquarium, and it would put them in the aquarium, and then you could go like in the aquarium and watch them.
It's
swimming.
like going outside.
There was a
but
really
you don't got to.
There was a really
Stay
weird
in.
thing that would happen too, and I can't remember how you did it. If you had to maybe catch the same fish twice, but after you had this specific shark in the tank, if you did something, you could get the metal version of it. There'd be a fucking metallic shark swimming around. It doesn't make any sense.
See, that was back when Japan made some cool shit.
Seaman.
See,
I mean, you love.
Did
sea.
you ever see the art? I remember seeing an article in the Dreamcast magazine where, apparently, if you like abused the hell out of Seaman,
we turned to Eminem.
it would turn to Eminem, and like there was a picture of it in the magazine where it was Eminem's face, and like he would just bitch at you. And,
That was Game and Farce, man. That was one of those freaking April Fool's jokes.
I was a kid, so I was just
But
like,
I'm sorry,
"What?"
if it turned to Eminem, I would be even more abusive. I fucking would. But no, Kinect's problem is, besides people just don't want to be forced to use it. They want to use it if they want to use it. They don't want to be forced to have it.
Right, you don't want it to be
Right.
forced
But-
down your throat. But what's just funny to me though is that, you know, they're going so back on all of their policies.
Well,
and
they
everything.
have to.
They don't know they have to because they're not going to be able to compete with Sony.
But here's the problem, and somebody else has pointed this out too. I don't think Microsoft could lay a golden egg on everybody's porch that bought a fucking Xbox One and make everybody happy. They're tainted because
No, it is,
they're
And-
tainted because of Don Matrick and all his enforcements.
and that's
and I know
why.
it wasn't just Don Matrick. It's a company thing, but you know, Phil Spencer has basically been told to polish a turd. Because that's basically what's happened.
Yeah,
They
so far
tainted.
he's doing. I mean, he's
He's
never
doing-
been always
he-
very
he's-
good.
He's
Long
doing
bad.
the right things. He's doing the things that should have been
It's just
done.
I think that this console generation, the Xbox is going to be the PS3. I mean,
Oh yeah,
the
definitely.
PS3 was good, not right off the bat. It took time for it. I don't think the Xbox One's going to take as long as it did for the PS3 to get its shit sorted out.
Yeah.
But I think that what happened with the PS3 and why it wasn't wildly successful like the 360 was, at least Western side of things, is because
it
because,
didn't do
like,
well anywhere.
it had this big stigmatism to it when it first came out. Like nothing worked on it properly. Like things ran shittier on the system because it was harder to code for. Same problem with the Xbox One. The games they haven't been running as smooth and as high of enough resolution. Even though, like, to me, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. I mean, like, as long as it's still at least an HD, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, like, as long as they're focusing on, the core game mechanics, if the game runs and plays properly, is it fun to play?
Yes.
And as long as the frame rate doesn't dip below a certain point to where it's unplayable.
Well,
Resolution's not a huge deal. It's just another number. It just makes it look pretty,
resolution
but
is
Yeah.
resolution right now is something to bitch about. It's
just a
it's not
number, and it's
something
saying
that
like,
is
well,
a
my
problem.
game runs in full 1080 at 60
Well, did you see
frames.
that thing from?
Okay.
and yours looks maybe 1% fucking better.
It's
Did you
just
see that
I-
thing from GameSpot. Like once Microsoft announced the Connectless Xbox, they've actually had more, like a ton
Yes.
more interest in people coming in asking for an Xbox.
Oh yeah.
And that
Xbox
just
has-
proves it right there to
Xbox
Microsoft
One-
that people don't want the Connect.
The problem, like I said, the problem is that people
It's
people
fine
will
if it's
use
optional,
it if they want
but
to use it. But the Kinect has so much potential. They can make it better as time goes on. The problem is they should have had it at least 20% better than what it is when it first launched. Now I can tell you now with the updates, the voice commands work much, much better. I'd say 90% of the time, it's perfect. Only time I ever have an issue is when I got my surround sound on too loud. And I use it quite a bit since no more neighbors.
I hate it when I'm watching something like on my laptop or I'm using the IGN app
Yeah.
on the PlayStation, and they start talking about the Xbox, and like one of them will just be bullshit and be like, the Xbox on or whatever, and it fucking turns on. I'm like, God
Yes.
damn it, I gotta turn it off now.
Yeah. But
yeah.
but the thing with the Kinect is, I like it. I will not disconnect it. I don't care if somebody is watching me through it. They want to watch me rub one out.
Oh, that
Predator
I
Housewives,
don't
go
give
for
it. I don't honestly
But
give a shit about it.
that was all stupid. That was politics. I mean, that was people just trying to shit on one person. But I think the Kinect's solid. I'm fine with them getting rid of it because I don't believe a peripheral should be forced upon. But I think it's an awesome peripheral that has room for improvement that can be improved. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say about that.
One nice thing that's going to come from them pulling the Kinect from the box is that the Kinect does use a lot more processing power.
Right, and they said they're going to free up
so
that
they're going to
power.
free up that, and I would imagine that's going to be something that's going to come in whatever UI update that's going.
So I think
to
like
pull
20% of the processing power
I
of
thought
the
it was
X,
only 10.
It was 10.
10%. I
Yeah.
mean, but still, that's 10%. You know,
That's
that's
10%
more than zero.
It's 10% of 100%.
That's 110%. But no, I mean, with that free power, I mean, it's gonna do.
Yeah, it's
pretty
It's
good.
going to bring
improvements.
about some minor, but still some good.
Yes, but what about DirectX 12? I mean, how will that
Well, DirectX is
How will that-
software.
basically take the formula that's in the Xbox One and make it better?
Well, DirectX is just software, but I mean, it'll allow them to use. It'll just give them more options basically when they're developing things. Like depending on what DirectX 11 uses, 12 may differ in being able to use some sort of different anti-aliasing. They may be able to use sample rates, or not sample rates, but what is that? Shit, I don't remember. But different shaders or
No.
shadows effects and things like that. I mean, there's just going to be different options for software. So, I mean, most games now use DirectX 11. So with DirectX 12, you're just going to have better graphical options.
Bonus.
Yeah.
All right.
And it'll run those, in current ones that they keep will run better than they did in DirectX 11. So, DirectX is a pretty awesome little program, and a lot of games use it. A lot of games, tons use
Games,
DirectX.
yeah, since like the
Not even
90s.
Microsoft-owned games. Like just about every game developer uses some form of DirectX. So,
Well, now that they're taking the Kinect out, are they going to update the UI on it?
Yes,
they have to.
they have to. Yeah,
Do you think
absolutely.
they'll talk about it though?
hmm
I think that they will talk about it at the conference, but I do think it will be brief. And that all depends on how long the conference is. If their conference is 3 hours long, then yeah, they got enough time to talk about it. But if it's an hour-long conference, they're not going to focus that much time on the UI. Now, they will talk about it later. If they're going to drastically change the UI, they will talk about it later. And when I say later, that may be like right after the conference.
Like, kind of glance over it during the conference, like they
Right,
did
and
the
then they may
price
have like a
last year?
separate video that talks about the whole UI change and everything like that.
Well,
But they're not going to, because this conference, I mean, if let's just say it's an hour-long conference, they've talked about how this conference is going to be about games.
Yeah.
That means that they're not going to take, they got 60 minutes, they're not going to take 30 minutes of it talking about a new UI. They're going to take like 5 or 10 minutes talk about it, and then they're going to move on.
At least say that it exists.
Yeah.
And that it comes out today or comes
Yeah,
out later this
update
week. Or,
coming out.
You'll have-
tomorrow morning.
though I honestly think it absolutely has to come out on June 9th or at least the week before, like
Or
sometime
during
next
the-
week even.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because if the Kinectless Xbox comes out, you go to buy it to the store and then you get home with it and you're like, well, I want to record game clips or I want to do this or that or whatever, and then like I can't do it because
Yeah.
I can't use a voice command, so they're going to have something.
Yeah, they're going to have some way. Because right now, to get around on your Xbox One with controller, it's a hassle compared to the 360. How the 360 was, I mean,
Butter on 360.
It honestly, the UI should, if you press the Xbox button, it should pull up that menu. If you're in a
smart
game
menu, yeah.
or if you're in an app, it should pull that up and then allow you to change things and do stuff
Right.
from there.
Yeah,
Like go home.
That's the one thing that definitely needs to be fixed. Is you need to be able to just make it your way.
Well, I mean, like, everything.
what is this, Burger
Create
Everything doesn't work
exactly.
the way
I want
you-
my shit Burger King. I want to be able to create my folder. Boom, all my games. Boom,
Er,
all my
see,
this, all my that.
Everything doesn't work the way you think it should work. And I still do this. You want to go to the dashboard or whatnot, and like you would think that of course you press the guide button and that'll take you there, and then when you're navigating through the dashboard, you would think that you press the B button to go back. No, if you press the B button to go back, it does some weird other crazy shit. It goes back to the last application or something. Like, I don't know. Don't ever use the B button when you're trying to go back when you're on the dashboard.
Yeah.
It just doesn't do what you think it's going to do.
Well, that's
and
because
then you
we
just have to hit
we're
the guide
so
button.
comfortable with 360.
And
That's
then
a
you
big
had-
problem. 360 works so well.
Everything's an app, which doesn't need to be.
That
just-
make,
Yeah,
that
I
make
hate the fact
no
that
sense.
It does not need to be. It's just
When
excess
you have
bullshit
to
that's running in the
Download
background.
an app to play the fucking Blu-ray player that's built into the system.
That's fucking stupid.
that was dumb. That was
Really stupid.
Really dumb.
PlayStation
I mean,
is not like that at all.
Is there going to be alternate apps for that? Am I
What's-
going to be able to download a different version of the Blu-ray player?
What's
from
funny is
somebody else?
that on the PlayStation, there are applications on it. There's the Netflix app and shit like that.
Yeah,
and
those are actual applications.
those are actually applications. And what's cool is that like you're gonna go play a game. You're playing a game, and then say you want to go watch something on Netflix or something. It'll suspend the game
Yes.
and causing it to use way less system resources. Because it's just suspended there. It's just I don't know exactly
Yeah,
what
Xbox
it's
does that as
doing.
well, though.
Right, but like
Even when
you
my
have
system's
to.
off.
It doesn't tell you that it's doing that. Like you have to go in and manually close applications, and it's
You don't have to close applications on Xbox.
you don't have to, but I mean like
I
I always do. I just do it out of force of habit because
I
like
can
I
go-
don't want all this shit running in the background. Kind of like when you use a Windows computer, like you have by default just fuckloads of stuff running, services and all this other bullshit that you just don't need. And I mean, the
No.
Xbox probably doesn't. The Xbox doesn't necessarily do that, but the more and more apps that you run, like you open the Friends thing, then you open up the Party thing, and then you open up
I
YouTube,
have-
and then you open up all this other shit, and then they're all
I've
applications
never
running.
had a problem
And I
with
doubt
it,
it slows anything down. Maybe I'm just OCD about it. But every
You're
time
a crackhead.
every time I open up an app like that, say the Friends thing, and then I get into a party, I hit the fucking menu button. I still call it the start button because that's what it
It's
will always
a
be.
Start button.
Is the
It will
start
always
button,
be.
and then just close it because it doesn't need to be open. But I'm just OCD about that.
But yeah,
I'm the same thing on my phone. Like
I
when
do
I'm
the
done
same
using
thing,
an app,
too.
I close it.
Yeah, I understand
And-
exactly what you're saying, but it's not like it's not like on a PC where it can start fucking your shit up.
I'm sure, like, if you... I'm kind of curious about that. Like, if you had every single app available for the console. If
It's
you opened
it's
all of them.
utilizing resources.
It
It's
has
gotta
to
get
be.
those resources from somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because it's still running.
but the way it operates, though, it's not like you're running or you start a game. That's the only thing you got going. You bring up Netflix next, then you bring up Skype, you bring up Internet Explorer. You go back to your game, it's not messing with that game one bit. It's just not.
See, and what I'm saying is, like, I feel that
Yeah, but the way
In
you gotta
time-
look at it,
in time with enough apps,
right, it could.
it could affect it.
Because when you open up an
Yeah.
app, if you open up several apps, like on a computer, if you open up a game, let's say, and you take that game down, the game's still running in the background, then you start opening up like a whole bunch of stuff, that your computer and all those apps and even your
Yeah.
game will start to bog down because
Mhm.
there's so many system
Yeah,
resources
but
being used.
I don't think the system would even
It's
going
gonna
to
be a little bit.
you to
It's going to be a little bit
to get
less
to the point.
likely.
It's like, well, you know how the on the Xbox One you have games, apps, and something else on the right side of your screen. So you can go to games, you can click your game apps,
hmm
movie apps, regular whatever apps. You can you pull one up. So say if I pull up Netflix, and then I want to, fuck it, I want to go watch Redbox. I don't think it allows you to keep two of those apps at the same time.
They're both open.
But I don't think they both run.
Something's
just
running it.
like a pause
They're in RAM.
Yeah, but even if they're paused,
they're just
they're
running
still
there.
using resources.
Yeah, but I don't think it's
And-
going to allow you to open that many apps up at once without closing off the oldest.
It won't. It won't close unless they have something in there that does it. I mean, but if it runs just like a PC, they'll all
Yeah.
run.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I
know?
mean, you can have
But I mean,
support.
PlayStation.
I'll be right back.
But
Keep going,
PlayStation
keep going.
has the same problem though.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he was talking about like if you hit B, it closes out the application. Because if it doesn't, then yeah, I mean, PlayStation can run still that. It can run into that same potential issue. I mean, if enough resources. I mean, I've done it on my computer before. I've ran so many things at once that my game was like slow. I had to close other things out.
Yeah,
I mean-
no, I can see it. Yeah, I have not experienced it because I just don't do that much at one freaking time.
Right.
But you know, another user interface that needs to be updated is Smart Glass.
Yeah.
What I'd like to see them do is take the screen from how they've got it now and make it
Oh,
look like your
Jesus.
Xbox screen,
That's
Yeah.
not him.
and just this way you can just swipe through it because that's what freaking Windows 8 is. It's just what's on your Xbox One. And it works awesome with the freaking touchscreen, so it'd be
Yeah.
perfect to use on your phone. Because the way they got it now, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it works great for game or basically your internet browser, search through Netflix, you know, because you can type super fast on this and you can't or key or controller for the talk. That's one I would like to see to update because I was thinking about that the other day. Why can't I just, you know, go click? It just don't look right. It shouldn't match your screen.
Oh,
I'm just OCD about it.
yeah,
Clearly.
Clearly.
almost.
Well,
Almost.
If we can get Sphincter Boy to hurry up off the phone.
yeah. Then we can move on to the
PlayStation portion.
portion. So while we're waiting for him,
Yeah.
we'll talk about PlayStation. At the conference, you know, I do expect Project Morpheus. I expect some sort of game to be utilized maybe with Project Morpheus. I don't know if they'll still show just tech demos, or if they'll actually have a game. You know, I don't see a series of games. I just see maybe like one game functioning under it.
They'll probably show it operating with tech demo with the Shark Tank.
Yeah.
I'd say they'll definitely say when we've got this game announced for it, and we've got 400 in the pipeline, even though they will never say what it is, like they did with the PlayStation 4 last year. And I'm sorry, but if it wasn't for the total jabbing that they gave Microsoft last year
Yeah.
about the
Sorry.
price and the trading, loaning games thing,
Yeah.
that Microsoft had the better E3, except for at the very end when
They were on the
what's
right
his
path
name,
there,
what's
though.
his name goes, yeah, and the price is good night.
No, they
That's
they had-
exactly what he did.
they had the right idea with the used games things and all that stuff, and like that's the future of games. It really is, but
It's
they
freaking
were too far
Steam.
ahead of their time. It is
Yeah.
Steam, and Steam
Yeah.
is awesome.
But the problem
But
is
it was
console
just too-
players aren't computer players.
They're not ready for it yet.
They're-
Next
most-
generation.
Yeah, most console players.
Next generation
I hardly
or-
ever play
Everything
it.
that Microsoft announced at E3 at the beginning of E3, exactly what Steven said. That will be, regardless if you liked it or not, regardless
Sony's
if it
gonna do
pisses
it
you
too.
off or not, it will
It's
be the
that-
future. You're going to have to
Well,
eventually get
give
used
you
to
an
it.
example,
That's how
like
it's gonna be.
something that was too far ahead of their time. I mean, like the N-Gage, like it was a cell phone that you played video games on.
Yeah, they were talking about
and
that
it
on
came out, and they were
IGN
just
too.
like, "This was yeah." They're like, you were like, that's awesome, but nobody gave a shit about it back then.
Nobody wants to play, games on their phone.
And then like other stuff that was like that too. I mean, you could get online. The Dreamcast and stuff did that
Yep.
shit, and I mean, of course, it wasn't. It was just dial-up.
Yeah.
But Dreamcast wasn't just ahead of their time; they were ahead of themselves. I think.
It was. Do
I
you know
don't
it was
think-
supposed to have a DVD player?
I
It was
see. I
supposed to
had
have
heard that too.
Panasonic was supposed to do the DVD player and all this other shit,
Yeah.
and then they ended up. No, wait, that was. I'm sorry, that
No,
was
that
the
was so-
GameCube. That
yeah.
was the GameCube was supposed to have a DVD player.
Yeah, because
And then they signed a
Nintendo-
contract with Panasonic. They were supposed to do that, and then what ended up happening is in Japan.
No, that was the N64. That
No. The GameCube was supposed. Maybe the N64 was
No, it
supposed
was
to.
64 because that was when
yeah, they had the
Sony was
in
trying. they were
DD
partnering,
or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I remember seeing this article where they're talking about how the GameCube was supposed to have one. Panasonic was supposed to develop the DVD player for it, and then GameCube or Nintendo was like, "We don't want to do that now. We want to, limit people from pirating games and things like
Yeah.
that. So we're gonna have our own form factor." And so what they had to do to being truthful to that contract that they signed with Panasonic is, I guess in Japan they had a little cube thing that came out. It looked a lot like the GameCube and it was all like kind of chromey looking, but it was just a DVD player.